so I just put it on my way. I'm zombie but awake. 밤비가 내려와.
What is good, my crazies? Yes, y'all, welcome back to the lab. Lee here in the suit, man. Y'all saw that title as well as too. We got 6 new Mandela Effects for you. 6 new Mandela Effects to do what we do, blow your mind, make you think about this reality. With that as well, stay tuned for number 3 because it's going to destroy you. Something got hit by the Mandela Effect that usually doesn't get affected, so look, stay tuned for 3. With that said, too, y'all remember that some of these Mandela Effects might not be new to you, but they will be new to somebody else, so please respect them and their minds. With that said, man, y'all don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Leave me your comments down below about your Mandela Effects and which ones you enjoyed, as well as hit that subscription button because every little bit helps. Now, without further ado, let's get this going. 6 new Mandela Effects, and we're going to start off with number 6. It blows my mind. I'm talking about Beaker from the Muppets. Yes, Beaker from the Muppets, and you're hearing him talk right now in your head, and well, it has changed. It hit the Muppets, and now apparently Beaker, in my mind, in my reality, and many other realities too as well, Beaker always said meep meep. Yes, meep meep. Well, listen to this. That is correct. Me, M-E, me. He no longer or has never said meep. Yes, you heard me right. You have never heard Beaker from the Muppets say meep, which is crazy to me because if you look it up on Google, you look it up on a little bit of residue on that little baby Muppets, but you look under residue of this on Google and you still see meep all over Beaker. It's got meep, pictures of meep all over the place. It is wild. It is crazy. It blows my mind. But what do you remember? Do you remember Beaky from the Muppets? Beaky. I'm sorry. Do you remember Beaker saying meep? Or do you remember the way it's been now? Him saying me. And I'm keeping that in there. And number 5 on our list is going to be that classic Independence Day movie, which I just said the movie Independence Day. And I'm talking about the scene where Will Smith knocks down the alien and finally gets him and knocks him out. And he says, "Welcome to Earth." Well, he doesn't say Earth anymore. Listen.
Welcome to Earth.
That is correct. He has come back from after Earth, and he has said Earth. Welcome to Earth. He says it correctly, enunciates it rightly. I can't even get that word out right, but he does say it right. I remember a lot of people remember him when he hits him, he says, "Welcome to Earth." You know, Earth. Welcome to Earth. And it just sounds really kind of weird now that you hear him pronouncing that properly, and it's now Earth. But what do you remember? Do you remember like it is now and how it always has been, Earth? That's the proper pronunciation of the word? Or do you remember it like I remember it and other thousands of people remember it as Earth? The weird way to say it. Number 4 on the list is going to be that great classic television show, Happy Days, and I'm talking about the one, the great and only, the Fonzie, man. And I'm talking about his jacket. Yes, his jacket. Take a look at this. Is this what you remember Mr. Fonzie wearing? And if you say yes, that is correctly right. That's what I remember too. The dark leather, the black leather on him. Well, apparently the leather was never really black. It was brown, maybe a lighter, darker black, but it's brown now, as you see. There still is residue evidence of it being both colors. Some people say it might have been the TV sets, the lightings, I remember what it is, or during the older times. It just happens they had to flip jackets around, but I always remember Fonzie wearing the straight dark black leather jacket from always. It's a signature thing from him. It's what made the Fonzies. What also made what the Greasers all look like too as well. But what do you remember? Do you remember the way it looks now being that brown color? Or do you remember like I remember it being that straight black? Number 3 on this list, I told you to wait for it. I know you have. I'm talking about Roadrunner and the beep beep. Yes, Roadrunner and beep beep. That is what he says, right? That is beep beep. Vroom, beep beep. Vroom, beep beep. Vroom. Well, apparently he doesn't say beep beep. Here, listen. That is right. You heard it right there. Meep, meep. Yes, meep, meep. You're telling me Beakers and the Roadrunners have now just flipped around, changed, and now it's meep, meep. Apparently, Roadrunner has always said meep, meep. It's all over the place. It's all over everything you watch in cartoons. There is evidence of it still being beep, beep on the Googles because you see it right here going up there. But the crazy thing about this, and this is why I told you to say, the crazy thing about this is that The Simpsons, yes, the iconic Simpsons, the one that writes the script for all of it, has been hit by this Mandela effect itself. Here.
Be so good.
Oh, just experience, I suppose. I started out as Roadrunner.
Meep. You mean meep meep?
No, they only paid me to say it once, then they doubled it up on the soundtrack. Cheap.
Meep, meep. Yep, her and Homer both said it, and you heard it right there. I am distraught. It hurts my feelings so bad that now The Simpsons has now been affected by this Mandela effect. But what do you remember? Do you remember Roadrunner always saying beep, beep, like millions of us remember? Or do you remember the way it is now, and apparently The Simpsons have always done it as meep, meep? Number 2 on this list is going to be that classic television show back in the 80s. I'm talking about the A-Team, and I'm talking about Badass Baracus. But before I get up to him, we're also going to be talking about the van too as well. Yes, the A-Team van. And I remember them being straight black with that red stripe as you see it like this right now. That's the way I remember this beautiful beast of a machine looking like, everybody wanted a van just like that. You didn't want another van for regular, you wanted a van looked like that. But apparently the van has changed as well. This little two-tone color on this van, that little black and that gray with the red, it looks so odd, it looks so weird. I've even seen it a different way too as I was looking up these things, and as you see, it just looks odd and off to me. But what do you remember with the van? Being straight black, or do you always remember being that kind of multicolored looking off black grayish with that thing? I don't even know how to explain it. But with this as well, now going back to Mr. B.A. Badass Baracus, I'm talking about his catchphrase. And everybody probably just said it to yourselves. Yeah, I'll give you a second. Well, I pity the fool that just said I pity the fool, because apparently I pity the fool was never, ever, 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 ever said in the series of the A-Team. Yes, I know I was mind-boggled by this too as well. It threw me back. I am telling you the truth. Mr. T, Badass Baracus, never ever said I pity the fool in any of those shows, in any of those shows that aired on television. He only said I pity the fool in Rocky 3, which is kind of crazy because, you know, we remember that movie, but man, the A-Team was his hit. It was his thing. But what do you remember about the van, and what do you remember about this? Do you always remember Mr. T saying, I pity the fool in A-Team? Or do you remember never, ever, 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 ever hear him say, I pity the fool? Now the last one on this list is going to be Full House. I'm about to blow people's mind. It shocked me in a way, and I don't know if this is a Mandela effect. Maybe it is too in my mind because I can hear it vaguely being said. But I'm talking about Full House, and I'm talking about Joey. Uncle Joey, to be precise. Yes, not Uncle Jesse. I'm talking about Uncle Joey. Well, apparently, they never called him Uncle Joey in this series. Yes, I am as founded as you are because it blows my mind. I remember watching this show when I was a kid because it came on at night. And I also remember watching it when it was on Nick at Night and stuff like that when you couldn't sleep. And I rarely remember them calling Joey Uncle Joey. And I'm not getting confused with Uncle Jesse. I know what I'm talking about. But apparently, they never called Joey by Uncle Joey. They just called him Joey. or Joey Gladstone. They just called him Joey. It was no Uncle Joe, Uncle Buck, Uncle Jay. It was nothing like that. They never called him in any of the shows Uncle Joey. This is crazy to me. I know some of y'all go back in the newer version. Yes, they do that, but that's the newer version. I'm talking about the old version. But what do you remember of this? Do you always remember it the way it is now, them never ever calling Joey Uncle Joey? Or do you remember a little bit, kind of like I remember, maybe I'm flipping back and forth in this reality, them calling him Uncle Joey? There you go, 6 new Mandela effects for you. I know some of them probably creeped you out just like me, but what do you remember? What do y'all think about those? Y'all let me know down below. When you're doing that, man, y'all hit that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Till then, man, y'all keep your mind open because those eyes will see everything in front of you. I'm out.
Hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.